So that is what we are talking about today. That is what we are talking about today, the miracle of life. So, welcome back to our Push Past 10 platform. It is great to be back with you on this platform. If this is your first time joining us, I am Simone Matthew, and here at Push Past 10, we are a movement dedicated to sharing the beauty and the uniqueness of the Caribbean islands with the rest of the world. But just as important, we're dedicated to advancing the lives of Caribbean people at home in the Caribbean and throughout the worldwide diaspora. And I cannot imagine a population that we should be most interested in advancing, most interested in providing optimal health care for than our newborn babies, especially our premature babies. So today we are here with the Caring for Miracles Foundation based out of Jamaica. And they are here to tell us a little bit more about the foundation, as well as a very important charity event coming up this weekend. So come on in, share the live, let everyone know that we are here. We want to welcome especially our recent 1,023 new followers who joined us in the last 2 weeks. So we are grateful for your support. Come on in, share the live, let everyone know that we are here. I am already going to post some information here in terms of how you can make a donation, because I'm sure that by the end of this presentation, you will be very much interested in making a donation. So let us welcome from Caring for Miracles Foundation, Dr. Marilyn Georgie, who's here in the US, as well as Dr. Jillian Lewis out there in Jamaica. Welcome, ladies. How are you?
Good evening. Thank you. Very well, thank you. And you?
I am well. Marilyn, Dr. Georgie, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having us tonight.
Yes. So I'm going to have you just do a quick reintroduction of who you are, because you've been with us at least two other occasions. So, if anybody wants more information, they can always just go on Push Past 10 on Facebook and just Google Caring for Miracles, and the other videos will come up. But let us just have you give a brief introduction of who you are and your role in the organization. Who will be going first?
I'm going to let Dr. Lewis go first.
Okay, Dr. Lewis, over to you.
Thank you. So thanks so very much for having us. First of all, really appreciate you giving us this space and this platform to share our passion. My name is Dr. Julian Lewis. I'm a consultant neonatologist at University Hospital of the West Indies in Kingston, Jamaica, an associate lecturer at University of the West Indies, and founder of the Caring for Miracles Foundation, which was launched in September of 2021 with a view to supporting the work of neonatal units in low and middle income countries, starting at home here in the Caribbean, and specifically here in Kingston, Jamaica, where I'm currently based.
Yes, thank you for that. And let's take it over to Dr. Georgie so she can introduce herself and tell us a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to play just an 8-minute video that kind of just tells us more about your foundation, as well as the events on the weekend. Dr. Georgie, over to you.
So I'm Dr. Marilyn Georgie, and I am the co-founder for the Caring for Miracles Foundation. Like Jillian, Dr. Lewis, I am a neonatologist, but I'm based in the US. And Dr. Lewis and I are Dominican girls who grew up in Dominica and decided we wanted to give back to our community and to use the talents and all the knowledge that we have to give back. And we're doing so by trying to improve the care for newborns in the Caribbean. And so here we are. And we thank you again for having us on tonight so that we can share some of the awesome work that we've been doing, that we have sort of initiated in Jamaica, but with the intention of spreading it throughout the Caribbean.
Yes, thank you so much for that. So what I'd like to do now, you did a really good presentation, about 8 minutes long. So I'm going to just share that information with the audience so they can get a better understanding of exactly who you are and what you do. So sit back, relax, give us 8 minutes, and we will share this information with the audience. Let's click play and take it away.
The Gift of Life Charity Art Auction is a fundraiser in support of the work of the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit at the UHWI, the first adoptee of the Caring for Miracles Foundation. Part proceeds from the auction will go towards supporting the care of preterm infants in the first hour of life, referred to as the golden hour. This is a collaborative initiative between the Caring of Miracles Foundation and the obstetric and neonatal teams at the University Hospital of the West Indies. Good morning and welcome to Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
So, Dr. Gillian, I want to start with you, and I know that Kimberly and Jermaine is with us, and Princess Lydia.
Princess Lydia.
Princess Lydia. Tell us about the fundraiser.
Okay. So basically, who we are, the Caring for Miracles Foundation, we're a multidisciplinary group of neonatologists, neonatal nurses, parents of NICU graduates, and people from different sectors of life who've come together to support the work of neonatal units in low and middle income countries. We're having a fundraising charity art auction to support this work, and specifically to support an initiative that we've undertaken with the team at University Hospital of the West Indies, which we refer to as the Golden Hour. And that refers to a very specific, protocolized, standardized way of approaching the care of preterm infants within the first hour of delivery, which has been found to improve outcomes, both mortality and morbidity.
All right, so I just so to inform the public, we talk about preterm infants. I can see somebody on the looking at the TV saying, "How are that?"
Right.
What is that?
So term
Yes.
refers to 37 completed weeks.
Right.
So any patient who's born before 37 completed weeks is referred to as preterm.
Preterm. Excellent. And just tell me the date of the event.
Sure. It's going to be July 22nd. We'll be at the AC Hotels by Marriott, Kingston.
Okay. Beautiful. Kimberly and Jermaine.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Morning. I see you there with Princess Lydia. Tell us your ambassadorship role in this event.
All right, so basically, we were introduced to Premi Life through our daughter at 26 weeks, being born at 0.77 kg, which is about 1.69 pounds. And it was something brand new for us. When she came out from delivery, she was about this small in terms of hands, feet. Her torso, her chest area was a bit broader though. Head about the size of a tennis ball.
Wow.
So in comparison to a regular baby, I mean, very tiny.
I think the visual was very impactful. You know, it left nothing for the imagination. I just want to know, what was your thought process? Because, you know, expectations and where are you now in terms of the help, the community, and the agenda?
During menopause, estrogen is going to drop and cortisol is going to rise, and this causes unwanted tummy fat. And running an extra hour a day or cutting.
Okay, you mentioned about ambassadorship. When we were, asked if we were interested in being volunteers, it was a definite yes. To see where Lydia is coming from to where she is today, we really thought it, appropriate to just let the world know that, hey, the efforts of the doctors, they're putting in trust in the equipment and everything that goes into ensuring that the first few hours, the first few days of a baby's life, it's well done, it's well taken care of. So we are really grateful for the experience. It was one that was laced with a lot of tears, a lot of prayers, and our beneficiaries, because the Caring for Miracles Foundation, they basically launched in September 2021, and Lydia was born November 9, 2021. So you really have 1 hour for the day to see your little one.
Because of COVID.
Because of COVID, right? And just not enough. But then to know you have your baby in the care of trusted doctors, nurses, and for us, the December 2021 was very special because we got a chance to do a parent-child photo shoot, put on by the foundation, and we are really grateful for that. So in terms of going forward, we really pledge to encourage persons to help where possible financially, just help with your time. If you can actually give more than that, we really do appreciate it. So we stand as testimony of the miracle that Lydia is, and that your help in terms of supporting the auction and just supporting the cause of preemies, and in terms of doing that, your help will go a far way.
And I see Princess Lydia saying, but I need to be mic'd because I have so much to say and I'm being ignored and I'm not unbothered. So beautiful. Doc, this hearing the parents speak of the importance of the work that you are doing. What is your hope for increasing, expanding, and assisting?
Okay. So the reason I created this foundation is because I do not think any child should be disadvantaged because of where he or she is born at all. And our vision is a world where all children are positioned to achieve optimal care in all spheres. And so our plan is to adopt neonatal units throughout low and middle income countries, support them for a predetermined period of time, to improve, to build capacity through educating, through equipping, and through building resilience with the families and the healthcare teams that serve them. And so UE is our first adoptee, but once we're done, the plan is to expand to other units within the Caribbean region and potentially beyond. That will probably happen after I've retired, but potentially beyond the Caribbean region. So it's a big dream, very big dream.
And a dream that we hope comes true, come to life. Now, the cost of the ticket in person is $5,000.
Correct.
It's little bit. We have new money, so it should have been two of them. Four heads are better than two. But anyway, just tell us more about the event.
Okay, so the event is going to be featuring primarily Jamaican artists, but also some other artists from within the Caribbean. And there's one artist who's a colleague of mine, actually, from Ireland, who's contributed to the work. We're very grateful to our generous artists, our generous sponsors by Marriott, Fontana, Wisinko. The event is going to showcase their talent. We've got some very well-known Jamaican artists like Carl Dennis, Alfonso Blake, Romaine McNeil, Greg Owen, who will, and the event will be a combination of, yes, the art auction, but sharing the NICU stories of different families.
Yes. Okay, and so in terms of expectations, because it is an auction, how much money we must walk with?
Walk with lots.
Holy. All right, so Dr. Gillian Lewis, I want to thank you so much. Continue doing the great work that you are doing. To Kimberly and Jermaine and Princess Lydia, thank you for sharing your story. Just seeing Princess Lydia and how attentive she is and how aware she is testimony clearly of the importance of the initiative. So thanks for being.
Yes, so I think the best way to talk about this organization is to share stories like these, right? So kind of just tell us, that's a really good piece that you guys did. And of course, we want to thank everyone who's joining us live. Simone James, always great to have you on. Maria Francis. And of course, we want to thank everyone who will catch the replay of the program later today, sometime tomorrow. But again, we're here with the Caring for Miracles Foundation, and we're talking about the Gift of Life charity auction and how you too can make a donation to this very important foundation. So if I remember correctly, the foundation launched in 2021. So how has it been going since that time?
So we've been extremely busy since that time. I always say the Calm Foundation elves have been busy. There are quite a few initiatives that we've undertaken So as part of the launch, and I'll have Marilyn chip in for some of the others as well. So as part of the launch, we had a staff appreciation where we donated some staff buttons, which were very well received. And we'd also donated a fully loaded resuscitation kit. So basically, all of the equipment that would be required to resuscitate an infant was contained in this kit. We donated that to the unit as well, and also celebrated the families of the first baby admitted to the unit in September. And we'd chosen September because it's NICU Awareness Month, and I'll have Marilyn tell us a little bit more about that in a second. We also did for our first year anniversary, also combined a staff appreciation, family celebration, and equipment donation. And at that time, we donated a pulse oximeter, which is used to measure the baby's oxygen levels. And that had been purchased with the funds from the Gift of Life auction 2022. So the money goes to very useful bits of equipment to help save lives. So, Em, you want to tell them a little bit about why we chose September and what that was all about?
Absolutely. So September is NICU Awareness Month, and it is all about the families that you just saw. The Wedderburns are our family that was presented to you in that clip. And we remind ourselves all the time, this is why we're doing the work. So as you can see, this baby was born early, very early actually. And for a lot of people, they don't know about this at all until they sort of happen into this NICU land. And so we're part of a whole world initiative to bring awareness to this before people stumble on it so that they can be well supported. One of the things that we've developed, and one of the things that we're working on, one of our initiatives, is a parent support system. And that is something that is so near and dear to our hearts because, as you can see, these families go through so much. It's such a traumatic experience for them, falling into this situation of having a baby so early that requires a tremendous amount of support. So we need to be able to support families through this journey. And so NICU Awareness Month sort of has brought this situation to light. And now people know about the NICU, although I still introduce myself as a baby doctor because most people don't even know what a neonatologist is. But it is just so important for us to let people know about this because this happens to a lot of people. And it's just sort of, it seems to them when they go through it that they're alone, that they don't have the support in place. So this is some of the work that we're working on. We remind ourselves every time we get together what is important. Why are we doing this work? This family is exactly why we're doing this work. There are lots of families in the Caribbean who are going through this, and it seems very lonely. It is a very, very traumatic experience for them.
Because even in our island, Dominica, I don't believe we have neonatal services for newborn babies. And I think you said it so very well, Dr. Lewis, that the quality of care you receive should not be dependent on where you were born.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Feel very strongly about that.
Yeah. So in terms of adopting other neonatal departments in the Caribbean, has anything been going on along that front, or we're still focusing on building in Jamaica first?
So the model that we've adopted is that we would adopt a particular unit for a few years, a minimum of 5 years, and work with the team to improve the healthcare that's delivered. And we do this through capacity building, through assistance with purchasing equipment, as you heard in the video, with advanced training for the staff, as well as the community, because education is a really strong focus for us, and building resilience in the healthcare teams and the families that they serve. And you've heard Marilyn just describe the parent support group that we're undertaking. So it takes some time to get all of these programs underway and well developed and done in a very sustainable manner. And we've got some specific targets in terms of what we want to achieve at the end of our time with the particular unit, and that is a reduction in mortality. And so we've not yet adopted any other unit because we really want to get our partnership with the team at UHWI cemented. In addition to the parent support group, there's another initiative that we're undertaking, which is the Golden Hour initiative that I'd mentioned in the video, which is an initiative that we've undertaken with a multidisciplinary team. So teams from the obstetric team, as well as the neonatal team, to standardize care delivered to the preterm infants, so that we have this approach has been found in other centers to improve outcomes. And what we want to do is reduce the morbidity and mortality of that population, which was the population identified as having the greatest mortality at University Hospital of the West Indies. So it takes some time to get these programs up and running. Also takes some time
Absolutely.
to see the impact of these initiatives. But we've got our eye on Dominica. So Dominica is in our sights, and
Yes.
we certainly will be reaching out and focusing on Dominica once we've finished with the team here in Jamaica. And we thought it would be important to focus initially on university affiliated hospitals, because they're responsible for training the Caribbean's nurses and doctors so that they can bring the expertise back to the rest of the Caribbean. So our impact will be outside of Jamaica even before we're done with the team here in Jamaica.
Yeah, yeah. And I also,
In addition to
go ahead.
that, if I can add, is that we're also building relationships with other units in the Caribbean already. So although we're not able to actually do the work there, we're already building those bridges. So with Trinidad and Jamaica and Guyana, so those places, because in the Caribbean, one of the things that I think we see on every level is that we have to pool our resources because we don't have much. So we've already started building some of those relationships, which is great.
Yeah, and I want to share some of your journey with the slide presentation in a minute. But we always have to come back to technology, because thanks to the technology, look at how you are able to collaborate. So kind of tell us the impact of having access to this incredible technology that is not now available. Just kind of tell us what that has done for your foundation.
This is key because, as we mentioned when we introduced ourselves, I'm in the US
Yes.
and Dr. Lewis is in Jamaica. The other neonatologist on the team is actually in Canada, and we partner with not just not just with Caribbean partners, but with European partners and Canadian partners. So without this technology, we would not have been able to do this. So I always say there was a silver lining behind COVID, and the Caring for Miracles Foundation is a silver lining behind COVID. If it
Yes,
weren't
yes.
for this technology, we wouldn't be able to do the tremendous work that we do. Everyone here is sort of remote, and we're grateful for the troops on the ground, and we're starting to build a volunteer team, which is excellent, and we're so grateful for them to be able to do the work. But thank God for the technology, because that's how we're able to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to share some of your journey so far. So as we go through the slides, you can feel free to comment on what we're looking at, so we can just get a better understanding of how important your foundation is. So we're looking at, I guess, the team. So we have
Right.
Dr. Jillian as the founder. We have Dr. Marilyn Georgie as the vice chair. So kind of just tell us a little bit of who we're looking at. By the way, I think we need a guy on the team, guys.
Yes, we're working on that. We're definitely working on
We'll
getting
the
some
next
testosterone.
time we meet with you, there'll be a couple guys on the team. How about that?
Excellent. Excellent. Yes.
On the other side of Dr. Lewis is Dr. Jennifer Young, who's the neonatologist that I told you is in Canada. And Dr. Young is originally from Trinidad and Tobago. And then right below Dr. Young is Simone Forbes, who is our parent representative. So she is a mom of a preemie and had been in the hospital for many months. And now her son is growing up, and it's so wonderful to see him growing up. Below Simone is Mrs. Prue Gentilis, who is our coordinator extraordinaire. She keeps this foundation moving and keeps this motor running and keep us all together, and all the initiatives that we embark on. She is part of the operations and how we execute all of these things. Next to Mrs. Gentilis is our nurse Nelson, who is our NICU nurse. Wonderful. This is the power force behind neonatology, is the NICU nurses. NICU nurses are just, I always call them God's angels on earth. The work that they do, how they support families, how they care for these babies is just nothing short of a miracle. And then I can see Sister right next to,
Is
is
it
that
Dr.
Sister?
Marsha Gordon?
Oh,
Miss
actually,
Gooden?
I will stop to say Dr. Marsha Gooden, who
Gooden.
is who was a nephrologist. She's one of the original board members, and unfortunately, we lost Marsha this
Oh
year.
my, sorry to
Yeah.
hear that. Oh
Yes,
my,
we
I'm
lost
so
Marsha,
sorry
but
to hear
her work, the work that Marsha has done with this organization, will live on forever.
that. Mhm.
She was instrumental in organizing a symposium that we have every year for education for healthcare professionals and for the nurses, the neonatologists, and for parents. And Marsha was instrumental in creating the symposium format and how we share that information. And that education piece has been, again, as we shared before, this is some of the ways that we've started to share the work that we do with not just the Caribbean, but with there were people from India, there were people from Africa who log on to or register for the program so that they can do learning. We have an amazing lineup when it comes to the education piece from Canada, from the US, professionals from all over the world. So it's wonderful. So Marsha's work will live on forever.
And just to
Absolutely.
add to that, Emma, this is one of the ways we've been able to harness technology. Because as Marilyn indicated, we've got people, attendees joining from all over the world.
And then just tell us quickly about the two team members, and then we will go through the slide very quickly because I want to make sure we spend some time talking about the auction.
Yes. So Sister Judy Ann Henry is also a nurse on quality. What I forget her the actual title, Jill.
The quality control officer.
That's right, in Jamaica. And then Leah, who is our media person, and she actually is in Canada also. So again, this is
Technology.
how we're able to do this, is because of the work that Leah does to spread the word and give us all this information.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for introducing us to the team. We also see you have quite a few volunteers. Let me just reduce this so everyone can see. And what I would encourage everyone to do is when you have some time, you can go back and browse through the video again and just take your time and read the vision, the mission of the Caring for Miracles Foundation, because I think this is something we all need to get behind. Again, optimal care for our newborns. And we see here, this is the launch of the UHWI NICU Staff and Family Appreciation and Equipment Donation. So some important work I wanted to show to our audience in terms of what the Caring for Miracles Foundation is doing. So guys, when you have the chance, you can go back to the video, click the replay, and just read through all of this information in terms of everything, the symposium in 2025, in 2022. So some really great information. But what truly caught my eye, ladies, Dr. Georgie and Dr. Lewis, was a photo I saw towards the end that I want to bring up in terms of your collaboration. So it takes a minute. Joins the European Foundation for the Care of Newborn Infants Networks. Please tell us about that because that sounds quite impressive.
That was a very exciting development.
I can imagine.
Yes. And an introduction that was made through the executive director of the Canadian Premature Babies Foundation, who has done some work with one of the board members, Dr. Jennifer Young. And the European Foundation for Care of Newborn Infants was initially started by a mother of a preterm infant who felt during her journey through the neonatal intensive care unit that she'd not had a platform to have her voice and her concerns expressed and listened to and understood and addressed. And so initially created this organization in order to ensure that no other parent has to go through a similar experience. But we call it EFCNI for short. EFCNI has expanded and is now this global organization that supports aligned organizations like ours that have got a similar focus and that do similar work. And their work has moved beyond just parent advocacy. So they collaborate with a number of medical organizations in Europe to affect policy, to impact policy, to impact medical care. And part of their giving back is to support organizations like ours and to help us build for sustainability. And so we joined the foundation, the network earlier this year. I attended a meeting in Germany where we were joined by 53 other organizations doing this work around the world. So there's representation from Europe, from the
Wow.
African continent, from the South American continent. It was really fantastic and inspiring to hear what other people just like us are doing in their parts of the world. It just brought a renewed sense of focus and
Yes.
determination. And I really felt inspired having attended this function, this workshop. And so our plan is to develop a deeper partnership with EFCNI and see basically where this leads us. But we're very, very excited about
Yeah,
this.
and congratulations. And it speaks so well to what I talk about all the time in terms we're all from Dominica, the importance of the networks that we need to
Yes.
build, the collaboration, the partnerships that we need to build in terms of advancing Dominica, which is, and we all play a role. My role is, getting people on the media and exposing the important work that everybody's doing, and everybody else is doing important work.
Yes,
So we need
absolutely.
to build those teams and build the collaboration in order to keep, moving Dominica forward. So anything else you want to share? Because I want to jump right into the auction.
Just to note that there's a few other things that we have done specific to families.
Yes.
And so we had our first family Christmas photo shoot that we'd organized in 2021, and then again in 2022. And we just thought it was such a nice gesture to provide the family with an opportunity to have their photos done. And the families were very appreciative. The Wedderburns were one of the first families that experienced this and really said to us that we gave them their first Christmas, which was really beautiful. Mm-hmm. And then for Mother's and Father's Day, we also collaborated with a parent of a pair of preterm twins who's actually come on board as a volunteer since to provide some cards, for Mother's Day cards and Father's Day cards, which were also very, very well received. So a lot of what we do is also celebrating the families and just providing them with that support through different means.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, and congratulations on your success to date. So let us bring up the flyer of the auction, and you can tell us some more about the auction, what we can expect, and everything else that goes along with that. So tell us about the auction this Saturday, is it?
It is this Saturday, July 22nd at 6 p.m. at the very exclusive AC Hotels by Marriott in Kingston, Jamaica. The auction will feature primarily Jamaican artists, many of them very well-known Jamaican artists. But we've also got an entry from a Dominican artist, Roma Soul, as well as, and her piece is really beautiful, as well as a colleague of mine from Ireland. So, we've got some beautiful, absolutely beautiful pieces awaiting everyone. The auction is a hybrid event, so you can participate from anywhere in the world you are. But we also have the option of people coming in person. And for those who are in person, there'll be the opportunity to interact with the different artists during a cocktail hour prior to the commencement of the event, and also to meet the team and some of the families of NICU graduates who will be in attendance. It promises to be a very elegant affair, a really wonderful ambience, an opportunity for networking, an opportunity for fellowship, and hopefully an opportunity for raising lots of money for the work that we intend to do.
Yeah, and just tell us about the auction last year. What was it like last year?
So last year's event was really lovely. It was a really lovely night of fellowship. It was a good opportunity to bring visibility to the organization, and there was a lot of goodwill in the audience, a lot of support for this cause. At that time, we had collaborated with the Malia Brown Foundation, and we were able, through the funds that we'd raised then, to donate a pulse oximeter for monitoring the oxygen levels of babies during resuscitation, and specifically the preterm baby, because that's a population that we're focusing on. And I think because it was such a good experience, we've got a number of people who attended last year who were interested in attending this year. And most of the artists, if not all of the artists actually, who participated in the auction last year have donated pieces again this year because they had such a great experience. So it was really, and the auction last year was held just as the country was coming out of the COVID era. So I think people just enjoyed getting dressed up and getting glamorous and meeting others in a social environment, as well as doing some good in the world.
Yeah, but let me also mention that the 5,000 is Jamaica dollars, right? Because I think people might see 5,000 and they might think it's 5,000 US
Yes.
dollars. So that is the
Yes.
option for attending on the ground in Jamaica. So, we have quite a reach in terms of our audience. So if you're in the audience, and Dominic, I see you, Corin, Eli, Francis LaRock, my friend, my brother, Anthony Simon, great to see you guys. So if you know anyone in Jamaica, please go ahead and share this video so they will know about this very important auction. Now, is there an option for online?
Absolutely. So we're harnessing the technology. And yes, people can participate from anywhere they are because we've got an online option. And what we've tried to do is to structure the experience so that the people who are in person as well as online have a very similar experience, so that it is absolutely seamless. So there's no advantage apart from the opportunity to network and to interact with the artists. There isn't an advantage in terms of the bidding times for the people who are in person versus online. So it promises to be a very, very streamlined process.
Yes, absolutely. And I went ahead and I shared the link to register for the auction, as well as your contact information for anyone who wants to get in touch with you. But Dr. Georgie, you had anything else you wanted to add?
So what I did want to add is the fact that the proceeds from the auction is really to support the initiatives that we have for these babies. So these are life-saving initiatives. The money goes towards purchasing equipment and stuff that we need to ensure that we can care for these babies in the way they need to be cared for. As we said, we want to provide optimal care. We want them to get the same level of care that they get in the US or in Canada or in Europe. So all the proceeds for this event goes towards purchasing and providing the type of care that we want to for these babies.
Yes, thank you for that. And let me just say congratulations on your success to date. It is very unfortunate that we see so many organizations come, open up, have good intentions, but somehow we lose the momentum along the way. So I want to say congratulations to you for the important work that you're doing, as well as your longevity, because it is important to our people. It is important to our region. So again, I want to thank everyone who joined us on the Facebook Live, everyone who will catch the replay of this program. Don't forget to share this information far and wide, and don't forget to make a donation. So important that we make a donation. You can make a donation from anywhere that you are. So please consider making a donation so that we can continue the important work of the Caring for Miracles Foundation. Dr. Georgie, Dr. Lewis, I wish you success with the event on Saturday. Do you have any final thoughts you would like to share with us before we wrap up this evening?
Dr. Jill, if you don't mind, I want to just say a little shout out to Mrs. Gentles, who has done a tremendous amount of work for this organization, for this auction this weekend. She is amazing. And I just want to say thank you, Prue. She's probably listening to this program tonight. So I just wanted to say a special thank you to her. If it wasn't for Prue, we wouldn't be able to get this going.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. She's an absolute gem. And just, I do believe that it takes a village to save a life. I really do. And I think all of our listeners or participants can be part of this village by participating. the difference that you can make in the trajectory of the life of a vulnerable baby is significant. It is significant. You can literally give the gift of life. That is
Yeah.
not an exaggeration, literally. So
Yeah.
please come join us.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here again. This is Push Past 10. I am Simone Matthew, and it is all about sharing the uniqueness and beauty of our islands, but also how can we advance the lives of our people in the Caribbean. So Dr. Louise, Dr. Georgie, good luck with the auction. Please let us know how everything turned out, and we look forward to having you on next year.
Thank you so
As we
very much
Thank
for having me.
continue
you.
this important work.
Thank you so much for having us this evening.
Yes, anytime, guys. Don't forget to share the information, and thank you for joining us. Until next time, you take care.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.